Hello, hello, hello. It is now Monday morning. It's meltdown time. I am just figuring out. I'm just working on. Oh, what's that? Oh, I see. Let me see what. I'm putting borders on this latest page. I think I totally forgot to. Yeah, let's do that. I forgot to set it up over the weekend. It is page 73 I'm going to be working on, which is the last page for next week. So I'm at the point that I was trying to get to that point. Before I took on this freelance web design gig that really delayed it just threw me off big time, but that's life. So here I am on page 73. Good morning. It is 10 o'clock, 10:01, 21. And I'm David Greg Taylor. This is Blue Boy Brown. Let me get up my old thing that I used to introduce and everything. It's kind of like I changed the graphics on it a little bit every once in a while. So, but we'll stop to that. Done. Anyway, hope you had a great weekend. Very strange for everybody, I think, in the whole world. The world's getting very strange. So nobody can do anything about that. What is this? Artboard. Uh-oh, somebody's... Hold on. Maybe my wife. Oh, you guys. Leave us alone. Yeah, it was Amazon. Believe it. Of course, it was Amazon. I think my wife ordered some stuff off of Amazon, so that's the way of the world. Okay, so now here I am, and I'm fixing this up now. Oh boy. All right, live, bud. Yeah. Okay. Why does everything go? Yeah, I'm alive, guys. So, anyway, let's go to full screen on this, and then I'm just gonna put in the last border I need to put in right here. And I should do it like that and bring it over like that. And then, okay. Fill that in. And then I just lock it because there's nothing else to do. And deselect it. And probably down here, yeah, get rid of some of that. Here's easy to get rid of right now. Yeah, so you guys who haven't been here before, I don't ink. I don't ink anything. Everything's done with a mechanical pencil, a Bic one, the kind you can get at CVS. And what makes Bic so wonderful? French graphite. Graphite made in France. The same stuff that you would get in a fine art pencil that you would buy for buku bucks at Dick Blick or Jerry's or something like that. Used to be Utrecht, but now my friends at Utrecht, all great, wonderful people. They sold out to Dick Blick, and they just absorbed everything. The Utrecht paint line, which I'm sure they still make in Brooklyn. There are two brothers who started Utrecht. Armenians, wonderful, wonderful people. Good people. And one of them passed away, the guy who makes the paint. I believe he passed away, but Norman, the guy who sat in the back room, sat in his office on 4th Avenue and designed the catalogs. He's still with us. He's the guy who hired me to work there. And his little daughter worked with him. She's just like 20 years old at the time. Another really nice person used to give me tickets for box seat tickets at Yankee Stadium that belonged to her brother-in-law, Steve Balboni. And so I get to sit not only in box seats at Yankee Stadium, but in Bye Bye Balboni's box seat. Bye Bye Balboni. If you are an old Royals fan, that's what we called him when he was with the Royals. We called him Bye Bye Balboni because once he hit that baseball, it was bye bye. I loved old Steve Balboni. I hope he is doing very, very well. I hope he's enjoying his retirement. I hope he's involved in baseball in some way because that guy could hit a dinger. And he was on the same baseball team with Don Mattingly, who is now the manager of the Miami Marlins. So that's another reason for me to make the Marlins my second choice team. First choice is the Royals and the Cardinals, because I'm an old Royals and Cardinals fan from childhood. Can't help it, guys. But usually when the Marlins are doing well, the Royals and the Cardinals aren't, so it's not a big conflict. But loved old Steve Balboni and Mattingly. I used to go there, and Mattingly always hit a dinger when I was there. I wish that Mattingly had been on the Yankees when they started winning a World Series, because he deserved it. Superb baseball player, man. I love that guy. So we're getting there. As you can see, they look like inks now. Isn't that weird? All you had to do, and I guess I just showed you, you set it up. You go into image, adjustments, levels, and you bring it that way, bring it that way, and bring it that way, and guess what? It's inks. If you are careful, it looks just like ink. And doesn't get any better than that, to have to use pencil, which you can easily fix without whiteout, and you can modify it anytime you want to. That's a real cool feature of doing it my way. Okay. And I'm fixing that right there. As you can see, there's a little line coming off his chin, and he doesn't have like his huge hair. There's always a possibility, especially if he had been living during the coronavirus days, but this is 1914, and he's not. And he didn't forget to shave, because if you're a lawman, you shave, I guess. Yeah, here we have it. So the tone section, I got to make sure that image mode, okay, we're going to turn it to CMYK. We're not going to flatten it. We know that. We'll get by. So I'm going to turn it to CMYK, because it's a whole lot easier to modify your colors, design your colors in CMYK than anything else. So we're going to fill my tone area with that tone right there. And unfortunately, I got it on normal, but let's put it on multiply. And I got my watercolor. Where's my watercolor? Doesn't appear I have my watercolor doohickey right here. So I'm going to have to open up. You see, yeah, I got watercolor here. I'm going to copy that, go over here, and then I'm going to paste it into, yeah, then I'll just get rid of this. And then I'll lock that. Don't want it. So I got my, here I have my layer. This is an old one that I had. I'm going to get rid of that. Get rid of that. Those are other drawings. So here's layer one. I will rename that line art. Now my color layer, my watercolor, my tone, my shadows, which I should make sure that I deleted all that. I think it did. Okay, they have my border. So I'm in good shape. Probably a few little things here that I need to fix. I need to go up here in the border area, and I must have missed a few places. So I'll bring those up right there. Bring it over one, and then if it's wrong, I think I got it. Okay, and do the same thing over here. La 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 la. Okay, and no reason to do this silly manner. Okay, bring that over like that, and then fill that in with white. Okay, and then get rid of that. And then I have same problem over here. Okay. Okay. That. I got this. I probably need to bring that over 1 pixel. Yep, got that. Up 1 pixel. And I have it. Then I need to do this. Fill that in. Okay. Now I think probably if I were to, here's my white thing. Huh. Let's just assume that I need to reestablish that border there. And we'll fill that in. Because I was suspicious that I had those weird artifacts. And I don't need the problems. Okay. Fill that in with white. White. Bring it down a tiny bit. And fill it in with white again. And I'm home free. Have my borders. Yep, everything's done. Okay. Now, so let me open up page 72. Is that 72? Yeah, that I did on Friday. Yeah, and I decided to kind of leave it like this, at least for the time being. But I want to capture a few of these colors before I start. Okay. Now I'm going to save this because this is my righty template. I call them righty templates because they're the right side of the gutter. This is 73. Yeah. And that's the proper template because I'm going to be using a printer in Illinois named Mixam that has real good prices. And it's in Illinois, which is Grandpa Blue's old stomping ground because he's born in Metropolis, Illinois, which is not just a coincidence because my great-great-grandfather was actually born in Metropolis, Illinois, which thrills me to all. You can't believe how thrilled I am. Back in the 80s when I started investigating all this, especially the genealogy part of it, where I started understanding the historical and political landscape of this time, I found out that my great-great-grandfather found the census for 1850 and 1860. Found out this old guy had been born in Metropolis, Illinois. And being an old Superman fan, I just said, this is just too cool. There's no way I don't use this in the story. Oh no. So it all goes to reason that since comics for a heck of a long time were printed in Galesburg, Illinois, I'm going to have mine printed in Illinois too. And I will not, under any circumstances, use Chinese to do it because we can do a better job here. Okay, now here we are. For support the American comics printing industry. Too many friends of mine who are actually professional print pressmen who spent years doing things in printing, whose lives were ruined by desktop publishing, and probably everybody sending their stuff to China. Well, I'm not going to do that. No way. time we brought comic printing back to the shores. If you're in Europe, print them where you want to. But here, I ain't going to give no more money to those totalitarian guys. Nope, not me. Okay, so what I do is this tone. So that's my template from Mixam. So what I do is I have a tonal area here that let me see. You'll probably bring it over like that, and that way we can pretend the sheriff here, his face is a little bit covered up by big old body of Blue Boy. And we'll have this guy have his face also like that. I like that. Okay, and then we got this guy. You need to highlight him a little bit. You can see he hasn't done too well after getting the Elementar beat out of him. Okay, then a little bit about here. Yep, this is all the sunshine. And the rest will leave in the. Okay, so we'll just. Sort of like that. Sort of like that. Maybe a little like that. Okay. And he still has the sun to his back, and this guy. He's going to have sort of like strawberry blonde hair, I think. If I get my way. And then maybe I'll draw some stuff back here because that's maybe a little too simple. And so maybe we'll just do it like this. This, people are allowed to move around and change their position. Okay. So old Blue Boy's been crying a lot. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So Getting there. This is a classical way of starting an image that's going to be, and we'll just a little bit like that. Okay. This is a classical way of beginning an image. If you look at Leonardo's Adoration of the Magi, which is an unfinished thing that he did for a bunch of nuns, and then he didn't finish it. And that really ticked him off. He just got into something else. I don't know where he must have had a whole load of money. He may have ran off to Milan, worked for the Duke of Sforza. But his whole thing is monochromatic. This is similar to that. Everything is monochromatic in underpainting in the Renaissance because you solved all your drawing problems, 100% of your drawing problems, everything that you needed to figure out in drawing, in spatial, atmospheric perspective, the whole 9 yards. You would do in what's called grisaille and or grisaille, and you would solve all your drawing problems that way. And then you would apply color in glazes, little transparent glazes. And that's the way it was done. And it makes an awful lot of sense. Solve all your problems, and then you can do all the refinements in color. So here we are. We're back to this, and we're going to Blue Boy's, the color of Blue Boy's hat. We might as well start out with that. And you probably need a smaller brush. And you just basically the same brush, which is just a basic watercolor brush. I still have this on normal. What's going on with me? Just this basic watercolor brush, which gives you this nice, authentic feel of digital watercolor. It really works nicely. I don't know where I got it. It's Kyle's. A guy named Kyle did these watercolor brushes, and I got a big set of them. I don't remember how I got them. It might have been a free download or something like that, but I got an awful lot of them, so maybe I paid for them. It's a long time ago, I think. And they work really nicely. And so all you have to do is that. And you don't have to get, it's not coloring, it's not like a coloring book. You have to color everything in between the lines. You can leave little gaps because that's what watercolor does. Okay. And what kind of color did I have for this? Well, let's just do background right now. Let's just do that. Well, I don't want to get too finicky with the background. I want to have enough over here so that I have him, have old Blue Boy, who's wearing a white shirt that we will soon see. Once again, is covered with blood. I want that all to be highlighted by this value right here. No. Don't want to get too I don't want to get too. But I do want it to, okay, a little bit right there. Okay. Then I'll sort of like bookend it over there. Great thing about this, if it doesn't work, you can always fix it. But you can't really do in watercolor. Once you put watercolor down, it ain't right. You better get another piece of paper, which is really not an option when you're doing comics. Okay. Huh. Okay, we probably want old murdering Leroy to be accentuated too. He's going to have enough problems as it is. That there, right down there, so that. Okay, and down here, we got it too. Of course, they're not too impressed with this guy crying, blubbering, and everything like that. They don't know our boy, do they? He's emotional. Sees somebody getting murdered and he cries. Okay, so yeah, but notice that this is 58, 56. Make a note of that. $58, 56, 62. Okay, I come back and get that neutral color. Well, I'm going to leave all this for the shadow area. Yeah, those will all be shadows. So that's maybe I could. See if that works. Okay. And So I think this week I need to get started on the cover for the first issue of Blue Boy Brown comics. I've been debuting it on the web since January, and now I'm going to make a stab at a Kickstarter campaign that I thought about doing it in June, but I'm teaching college all during June and the beginning of July. So I think I'm going to start around the second week of July with a Kickstarter campaign. Real modest. And my stretch goals will be adding, I'll have all types of cool extras like original drawings. I like doing original drawings. And this first run through, this first thing, I'm going to add some real cool rewards for those of you who really want to support the project. There'll be original full color art stick drawings that are like pastel drawings, except they don't smudge. You get a lot cooler blending effects from them. You can really, really go after the page and really make it really do some serious damage to the page and not damage it. I use a pastel paper, Canson, that stuff you buy at the art supply store. Use that. It works great. And you can really work it. It doesn't damage the paper at all. And I know how to, I've been doing this for a long time. I don't have problems with that. And then they're going to be decent size, at least big. If the pages, which I have over here, are like come on. How big are they? It's 1836, about 38 by, about 20 by 30 something, about 20 by 40. So they'll be about maybe 18 by 20, something like that. That'll be decent size. And then that'll be a nice reward for those who really want to have something that comes as a bonus for the first run. The idea I have for doing this is to do a very small print run as the base, as the foundation, the base thing we're going to do. And it'll be a limited edition, signed and numbered, like I was doing all the years I've been doing prints. You do editions. Since I do my own editions, I don't hire Crown Point or Tamarind or anybody like that to do my editions for you. They're not huge editions. And so I'll do an edition like that. And if I get a larger response out of Kickstarter, then I'll add pages to it instead of being 24 pages plus covers, which would be 28 pages altogether. I'd make it, the next step up would be 52 pages and covers. And then if I got really, really successful with this, I'd make it 82 pages plus covers. But that's all has to do whether or not I reach my goals. And I'm confident that if you make your goals reasonable, you will get at least your first printing out somehow, and everything will be cool. Okay, now this old boy here, he's wearing we remember his color. Don't really have to go after it too much. You just get all of the green out of the black out of it. Then you add let me see. Yeah, you add about 67. Yep. Nope. Okay, bring that down. Okay, 34. Okay. More cyan, 67. Yep. And then more yellow, 67. Now we're getting close to that. Maybe a little less magenta, 25. Yeah, sort of like that. Yeah. So, sort of like that. Now get my. Okay. So now I'm gonna. This is the color of this old boy's. Now it's gonna have to be some discoloration because you get the snot beat out of him. So we're gonna have to mucky it up. I was thinking about my trilogy of trilogies last night, which is pretty much already written. The first and second, the first and third are done. I have left open. I know what the second one's about, but I like to kind of leave things open while I'm doing it so that I can be inspired by the things I actually do in this. Since the second book is about his son, this is all about a family. It's about his son. I'm always writing and rewriting. So I have to, let me see, I'm going to create a color layer over this. I'm just going to call it, I don't want blending styles up there. Stop that. I just want it to be called color 2. And I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to put some blood on that boy. Now, when old Blue Boy came in the door, did he have his, he didn't, okay. Did he have his gloves on? Well, I would take my gloves off before I walked in. Yeah. He gave his gloves to his dad. Yeah, I don't want him to have to wear gloves on. So, color of this guy's outfit over here, I'm going to have to take out that because then I won't get the real colors. That color there is the color that the deputy sheriff is wearing right here. Okay. And it doesn't Oh, don't want that. This has to be multiply, but don't deal with that just yet. I'm going to use that for something else. Okay. It's analogous to the green that the murderer is wearing, alleged murderer. He's alleged until he gets convicted, which is going to be difficult to avoid. Lots of eyewitnesses. Anyway. So flatten all this stuff out. Don't use flats. Because if you're real careful, you're going to get your, and I suspect this whole thing's going to be printed digitally. The Mixam have both digital and litho presses. And if this is the most modest version of this first issue would be a small enough print run, so they would do it digitally. And I've seen the digital examples. They're really good. They're really, really beautiful. I don't have any problems with that. So before I do any of this, I'm going to print this whole thing out on my Epson digital printer so I can have a good idea what I'm going to get out of the comic. And then and I'm not going to release this comic without a hard copy being sent to me, a sample, so that I look and see, okay, this is exactly what I want. And if I have to make changes, I'd rather make the changes. My first comic was sent out without that happening, and there was an entire section that was so completely screwed up. And you don't do that. You don't just simply say, here, printer, do your best, because printers are only human beings. They're only as good as the instructions you give them. And so you should really take care that you, okay, get a proof copy. Okay, now I'm going to give Blue Boy some skin. And we'll have to say that his skin shows through his razor cut there. I grew up in the 60s, and my dad would take me to the barber shop, and we would get crew cuts because he's ex-military. So everybody got crew cuts. They just zip, 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 zip. The barber didn't really have to do much. Of course, you could get a haircut back then for $1. And so, yeah, you could see the skin for a long time, right through the hair. Know all about that. I got old pictures myself with my completely shaved head, like I was a Marine. And my uncle was a Marine, so I guess that my dad was Army Air Corps before he became the Air Force. An MP. Okay. So we got that. And then we'll do this old boy with the same color scheme, but there'll be some black and blue in there that everybody else doesn't have. We can get that. We'll get that. His face will look like been through a hamburger grinder. Well, he's probably a turkey grinder. Oh boy. Okay. And then his face. We can do little variations on this. Not everybody's got the same exact skin. Nobody does. My skin's just a tiny bit different. When you're doing comics, Superman's Clark Kent's skin color, same as Lois Lane's skin color, same as Barry White's skin color, same as Jamie Olsen's skin color. Okay. I'll learn that. What the heck is that? Oh, I see. I didn't realize what that was. So I'm figuring this Kickstarter campaign will begin. I'd figure out what day is the best day to start one of these campaigns. I'll figure out. But it'll be after the end of my summer class, which ends July 9th. So July 9th is my last day of doing college. And so after that, maybe it'll be the Monday after that. We'll see. And go on for a month. It would be like July 13th to August 13th or something like that. That give me time. Since I wouldn't be teaching during that time, I could devote all my attention to the Kickstarter campaign. Of course, this live feed would be a part of that. And Instagram also. I got a little account on Instagram and YouTube. I get more attention out of Facebook than I do YouTube. Like I have a Facebook page that has like almost 1,100 followers. So that explains that. So I should be able to get all this done. It'd be a whole lot of fun. And this is the beginning. This is the first of this. We'll see how many issues it takes to get through the first book. First book is about 150 pages. And I've already got them drawn and everything. I'm just working on coloring them. And took me a heck of a long time to get them done. But then I rewrite and redraw all the time. I got several things going on here. When I started doing my research on how I was going to do this, I knew I was going to use WordPress Comic Easel because it's ubiquitous. Everybody seems to use it and everything like that. It works real nicely. Took me about a day to figure out how to use it because I'm an old WordPress guy. I've done a lot of WordPress, but I hadn't used Comic Easel. So it took me about a day to figure out how to do it and design it the way I wanted it to. But I also noticed that people were using HTML5 for a lot of these things. And despite they were making their type way too small, you couldn't read it on a phone. You could read it sort of. You could read it on a desktop, but you couldn't read it on a phone. Well, most people are doing things on their phone these days. A huge number of people are doing their things on their phone. So what I've done is I have made the type big enough, a 34-point web letterer type, that you can read it on a phone. You don't have to. You don't have to enlarge it a huge amount. Be able to see what it is on a phone. And when I get to the print edition, I won't have to do that. You can use maybe 24-point type instead of 34, which means that I'm going to have to do a slight rewrite because I've been paring down the dialogue, the word balloons, so that they don't just crowd the whole page. You got to design the page so that the word balloons don't take over. I think I'll just leave his shiny nose thing right there. I fix that too. Since I can use more words, I'll go back and I'll add to the dialogue, maybe the narration too, so that I can flesh out the dialogue a little bit more. Well, that'll be the fun part of the print version. Which so it'll really be like a web version and then a print version. La 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 la. Okay. Uh-huh. He's got his. Dee. I'm just confused by Blue Boy. I'm not going to tell you what the dialogue is here. It's too much fun. Hold in the back. You'll see next Monday. When you go read the comic. Okay. So, what kind? Now, did I have this guy? I didn't have anything. Okay, let's just color this guy's hair, which may change a little bit later on. We'll see. Okay. For that color, I think. Okay. Yeah, give him a auburn hair, a little less highlights than I had in the previous page. So I'll probably fix that. But give him a nice auburn hair. As you can see, I do not like the color to overpower the drawing underneath. I like the color to enhance the drawing, so the drawing reigns supreme, and they work together. I've looked a lot at the way coloring was used by Alex Raymond in Flash Gordon, and also the way that Hal Foster used it in Prince Valiant. Used it very intelligently so that the color didn't overcome the drawing. And since both of these guys could draw to die for, you just love to be able to do things like they did. Always imitate success. Let me see. I was going to give this guy yeah, a little bit of gray hair. Yeah, he's had some experience. Yeah, he's had experience. A little bit of gray hair helps. He's that rugged, hard-boiled detective type, even though he's a county sheriff. In the original, I believe in the original, I gave him my grandfather's name, who was a county lawman in this very same county back in the, I guess he started in the 30s, and then he became the head honcho during the 50s. But I don't know if I'll keep his name, though. I don't know. It's too much fun sometimes to just play around with things like that. So, what kind of coat color is he going to have? Because he does have, eventually they're going to see that he's wearing something or other. So he should probably be wearing some type of a brownish gray. Get that down there like that. That'll be fine. Maybe like that. Okay, yeah. It's a nice color. Brown's a trustworthy color. Okay. There, we got that there. And we got a little bit here. Okay. And this whole thing, that's his coat sleeve. Even though it is February, he would be wearing a coat. It's not like Blue Boy, who barely feels the cold. which I know from experience when I was a kid, as I got bigger and everything, cold didn't affect me too much. I wouldn't even wear a jacket till we got to about 10 degrees. Of course, that ain't the way it is now. That's now I've been living in the same latitude as Northern Africa for way too many years to be able to handle even 50 degrees without shivering to death. Ugh. Okay, getting there. Okay, and maybe a little bit down here. Um, hmm. I probably should draw there a little. That's a bit stupid the way I drew that, so I'm gonna fix that. Okay, and I need a much smaller, down to about 7. So okay, okie dokie. So we get rid of that. Well, I gotta have to go to color. Get rid of that. Then in the line art, since I have white underneath there, I can do this. Get rid of that. Okay. And probably should bring this around like, yeah, that didn't work. Okay. So back to that. Get rid of that. It's that color. And then I can color this and it's a soup color. Okay. Yeah. So this should be more like, do it like this. Okay. You catch these little things, they really tick you off that you didn't notice it, but I'm only human. Okay. And should I have the same thing here? Yeah. Uh, okay. Okay. Now, so we got mousy brown hair for this guy's hair. So it has come up to about like that. Yep. This guy's, remember, he has mousy brown hair. Even though it's been torn out by the roots. La 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 la. Da, 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 da. Okay. Looky there. Okay. So I wanted to keep those. Now, down here, I'm going to draw in some little bit of detail for the, yeah, detail for the walls, because he's not just, I want it to have a little bit, I like to have a little bit of fun here. I draw very, that was kind of crummy. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Maybe if I did this, if I rotated this sucker, I'd have an easier time of that. Okay, not that. Okay, see if I can do this easier. Probably a little bit. I think drawing it down is a little difficult. Though there's a certain advantage to drawing it so that it actually looks like what you're gonna be doing, because you can tell whether or not you get it right. But anyway, let me turn that again. La la la. Make sure it's up to 0 over there. Okay. Ah! Okay, that's a little bit better. Oh, that was bad. Okay. Then here, here, don't like some of this stuff over here. Get rid of this. Okay. Okay, just do a little bit of detailing here. Okay, I think I like this a little better. Gives a presence to the background that wasn't there before. And in a few seconds, I can start putting in shadows. This, strangely enough, this page is not going to take that long. Got new pages out at Blue Boy Brown. Started this morning, well, it debuted this morning, 4 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Okay. Oh, we got to do the background. Out what's going on outside. So what's going on outside is going to be similar to what we see. Yeah, we'll just give it that color. It's not a whole lot different than what we got inside. Yeah, maybe I should lighten that up a bit. Oh. Doing this on the line art, that was not bright. Okay, we get rid of that. Okay, put it in color. And then some probably real gray over here. Get rid of that. And then go after some of this. Need some separation from that window background. I should probably put this up in color too. Now I'm making it look more like I'm filling it in with a color, watercolor wash. Ooty dooty doo. Okay, a little bit over here too. And he's got a lot of money on paint with this. Shaq did that. Now, do. Let's do the same thing here. You'll see them. It is madness, but there is method to it. Shakespeare, Polonius did not say there's method to his madness. He said it is madness, but there is a method to it. Somebody misquoted Shakespeare in their past. So there is madness, but there is method to it. Okay. Okay. I'll play around with this. Not like I don't have time. Oh. Da-da-dee-da-dee. Ya-da-da-da-da. Ya-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. My wife likes to listen to the Flintstones because she was a big Flintstone fan when she was a kid. And the greatest voice actor that ever lived is Barney Rubble. Mel Blanc, the voice of Bugs Bunny, Tweety, not Elmer Fudd. Later on in later years, he became Elmer Fudd, but Elmer Fudd was another guy. But Foghorn Leghorn, Yosemite Sam, the greatest voice actor ever lived, Mel Blanc. Which has nothing to do with my comic, but I just was thinking about how much I love Mel Blanc. And Barney Rubble's not my favorite character that he's done by far. Yeah, Bugs Bunny's the greatest. Yosemite Sam, that was incredible number of things that guy did. And I was watching a Mel Blanc American Masters, and when he was doing the Flintstones, the producers would come in and yell, really give the voice actors a hard time, except for Mel Blanc. They never yelled at Mel Blanc, and you can understand why. You piss off Mel Blanc and lose him, it's curtains. You've got to have Mel Blanc. And also, they probably had so much respect for him. He was Mel Blanc. He's not. He's the Laurence Olivier of voice actors, cartoon actors at least. No, he's the Laurence Olivier of voice actors. No greater voice actor ever lived. It was horrible when Bea Benaderet left the show. She either died. I know she died while she was doing Petticoat Junction from cancer, which was just tragic. I love Bea Benaderet, but she was a great Betty. Wonderful Betty. And then they got another actress who did her best, but there's nobody who could do Bea Benadet's probably the greatest female voice actor of all time. Maybe the second greatest. Her Betty is just wonderful. It's a good show. Jackie Gleason once said in response to the Flintstones, since the Flintstones was a complete ripoff of the Honeymooners, and he knew it, and everybody knew it, and he was going to sue them. He said, I wasn't going to be the guy who took the Flintstones off the air. And so he didn't do it, even though he had legal grounds for it, probably. I probably would have won. But Jackie Gleason's a good guy. He wasn't going to be the one who took the Flintstones off the air. And I think it was the first time Harvey Korman was featured in anything. I don't know of Harvey Korman being featured in anything before he did The Great Gazoo, which is a great character. Man, what a good character. So I'm getting this. Beeby boop. Oh, I got to do something about that guy's hat. Doo-doo-doo. Okay. And probably line art. Make this darker, but not too dark. And you need a But has to be a larger. Why should get this weird hard line? Just want to get a different feel to it in this panel. Doesn't have to be the same in every deadgum panel. Okay, a little bit here. Okay, now I think I'm ready for shadows. I still haven't done anything about that guy's hat. Was he wearing a hat in the other one? No, we didn't see a hat. Okay, so maybe he's wearing a bit of a darker hat than that. Okay, so we'll give him a bit of a darker hat than that. We'll put it up in color. Try to not make the same boo-boo I made before. See if that works. Boy, am I getting clumsy. Yeah, it's good. Okay, now we're going to the shadows, which will be multiply. Now let's find my shadow color. I think it's going to have to be a cool color. It's going to have to be in a cool range up here. Take out that. Let's try that. That's probably a little too, yeah, it's a little too much. Yep. So you bring it up here, maybe a little over here, get rid of the black, and see what it gives you. Yeah, better. Doesn't obliterate the line. I'm not sure that one's working either. Probably needs to be a warm color. It's fighting the flesh color. So I'm going to bring it up over here, make it a warm color. Yeah. Oh, make sure I get all the, yeah, don't want any black in it. So how about we make it 40, and then 37. Nope, that's warm. Me. Okay, then make this 45. That's full. And then make this 43. I wanted it to be warm. Wow! But yeah, better. Okay. Well, let's make it 43. And that is a warm color. Okay, it's still chromatic neutral. And so yeah, it doesn't separate. Okay, that works better. I may have to do some adjustments in Blue Boy's face, but that is the color that'll probably work best. It's chromatic neutral, so it works as a shadow far better than that cool chromatic neutral I had, which was just a little too, well, it started making a hole. Okay. Put this over this guy's face. Okay, a little bit under here. And like that. There. And then we'll do this. Let me see if that works. I do believe it does. Okay, we'll do that there. That way his head is a little more accentuated. And his face gets a little of the shadow also. I think that green of his, I have to go back and find the actual green. Uh, that was not the green that I was using. I have to fix that. Okay, now, yeah, I have to go back and, what was that? No, I didn't have that color there either. Ooh, I'm gonna have to go back to page, um, page 69. Yeah, I forgot to put the green in that guy. I'm still have work to do on that. That's not it. So we're talking about 65, yeah. See if I have 65 in there. There, I know I did a lot of scanning recently. Page 65, yeah. Yep, there's that color. There's the color we need right there. Okay. Go down here to color and redo that. Yep. I was being lazy. Didn't want to have to open that up, but it's best to keep things kosher. Yep. Yeah, that's a whole lot better. So now, down here with the shadows, I'm going to have to soften up a few little areas. Just the slightest bit. Okay, the edge of his neck there. Yep. Maybe that here. Okay. Maybe a little bit there. Okay. I think I want it softened a little bit here. Right at the edge of his nose. Okay. Okay, back to shadows. So kind of make this broken shadows, I think. Some we can't. Right there, that has to go. Uh, uh, that shadow is 58, 56, 62, I believe. Yep. No, it wasn't. It was 43, 43, 43. Yep, that's what it was. No. Yeah, none of that. No, we got it right. Okay, dang. Okay, I'm going to save this thing because I'm going to be sorry if I don't. Do, da, 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 do. Okay.
Yeah, what I want it to do is to look as if it was applied with like a mop brush. Just large swatches of brush strokes. Since I have this tone underneath, I can use that as a middle tone. And I don't have to go all the way up to the edge there. Yep. And then go down on here. Do the same thing there. And then maybe I'll bring this over here. I'm going to leave this background the way it is. There's nothing I can do to it that's going to improve it. And so I have this up here, and we want to kind of take Blue Boy and just kind of put him in the background. Just knock him back there so that lawman's head is done some justice. Okay, I forgot to color Blue Boy's hat. I'll fix that in a few minutes. Okay. And then this guy will just knock him back there. He's just there. He's back up. He never says a word. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does later on. I do give him some dialogue. Okay. Once again, I'll just use that tonal area to be a bridge between those two zones. And then this will be like that. It'll be like one of those film noir things from the 40s, which I dearly love. The lighting is just so good. I don't know why anybody doesn't use it anymore. I guess they got into that realistic stuff where everything looks like a TV show. Me, I'm for using tenebrism wherever you can get them.
Doo-doo-doo. Okay, a little bit here. Yeah, just the tiniest bit. Maybe a little back there. Let that meet right there. Okay. And then this guy is and we gotta put shadow all over his coat. Ugh. We're getting there. Then I have to go back to page 72 because I made some boo-boos there. Soften that up a tiny bit. Not make it look like he has a mustache. Okay. Probably up here I need to soften some of these. They're a little too hard. Yeah. And some over here. A bit right here. There. Probably right here too. Okay. And then, okay, I gotta play around some color things going on here because this guy over here, he's been given some royal butt kicking, so he's gonna be pink and blue in some places. I still got to turn blue for a while, so we got to find a color that's appropriate for him. I didn't want to do that. Up here to color 2, and that way I can make him look like he's covered in blood, and we don't have to mess with my green. And get a little more, a little closer to real red. Okay. Now he's been there a couple hours. So maybe he's starting to get a little greenish. And Blue Boy has some of this going on. Yeah, I'm not going to show that. Okay, he could be kind of turning a little bit of bluish, a little bit of purple there. It's got to be pretty subtle. Yeah, it's up in the color too. And some accenting of flesh color, because these are people of the pinkish variety. Yeah, this has to be really smudged up. You get too silly with this. Okay. But you also have to make it different than that. So it's going to be like that. We're going to make it a little more orangish than that. You don't want it to start being on the same plane as that those injuries. Okay. 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 Weird color. Give Blue Boy a little bit of something going on there. Him a little something there. Maybe him a little something there. He's not going to have that. Okay. And a little bit right there. Yeah. We already had that there, so I'm going to. Okay. See what it looks like. I haven't seen the whole thing. So anything I've missed? No, know, I wanted to keep everything kind of muted. So those little places where I had pure color, like the red of um, Leroy's getting the snot beat out of him, would kind of stand up. And Blue Boys, um, his nose should be a little pinkish. Well, we'll just do it like this. He's been blubbering a lot. Yeah, he's been crying a lot, so his nose is going to be red. Okay, gotta smooth this up right here. This can't be just a line. Look better there. Now, down here in color, I gotta use the Dodge tool to give a slightly different color to the lines of tears. I think that's a little too wide. Okay, down up here too. Okay, and I still hadn't give him the proper red nose. Okay, well, looks like I could make that nose a little pinker. It'd be all right. Yeah, make it a little pinker. That's a little too orange. Okay. Do. That rope should probably be kind of grayish. It's just a spot color, so it's no big deal. Just don't want it to stand out too much. Okay. And you're in color too. Bring it over here. Blue Boys. Stains are gonna be there. You're not gonna get rid of them. Okay. Now let's see what we got. Okay. Is there visual noise there that I need to quiet down? Maybe. Right. You see, I had uh 43, 43, 3. No, not there. Cancel that. 43, 3, 3. There. Okay. And I think I'm gonna bring some shadow over this. I'm thinking that is counts for visual noise. I'm gonna this should be up in the shadows. I'll quiet down that area a bit. Probably should just, yeah, darken that in a bit, just so it doesn't warble in the background. If we just bring this all the way around like this. Quiet that down a little bit more. Yep. Maybe this edge of his hat needs to be quieted down a bit. Okay. Okay. Am I happy with some of this? Yeah, I'm happy with some of it. Yep. Okay. Before I do that, a little bit of yeah, give a little bit of, make sure his white temples show up. Okay. And I think that's that's it. That didn't take a whole long time. Now over here in 72, I left a few things undone, such as the color, various his color of his. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do it. The color of his shirt, which I totally forgot. So I can fix that. Yeah, I think this page needs a little bit of work. Okay, and then his skin color on his arms. Didn't do that. Guess I got into a hurry. Down here too, because he got his shirt just kind of ripped off of him. Not much of it left. And if I go back over here and notice that it's a little, yeah, some of these colors are much nicer than the colors on the previous page. So I'm going to play around with that. Like this color. And put it over here. Yeah. Yeah, that warmer tone really works a lot better, I think. It's a little too neutral. Yeah. We'll do it like this. And maybe I can use that stool, just that regular neutral color, which is not a black and white gray, but a chromatic neutral that I concocted out of CMY. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I kind of like that better. Yeah. looks a lot better. Interacts with all the other colors better. Oh, what I did. Okay, I left his shirt color undone over here. A pox on me, a pox on me. Okay. And so, well, what color was that? Oh boy. Well, I don't have the tone on. Oh, look at that. How that changes everything. Hmm. Okay. So now back to figuring out what color that was. Okay. Oh, well, put that in there, a little darker. See how that tone eliminates little spots of white that create visual noise? It tones it down a little bit. So when you actually do want to use the lightest value you can, white, it actually works. Yes? Hold on a second. I'm going to get some water and a Coke for the post lady. I'm sorry, guys. I have to be nice to my mail lady. She has a horrible job. She's out in this horrible weather, 12 hours a day. And she's a real sweetheart. And we really like her. And when we get a chance to, we don't catch her every day. What's going on here? But we try to give her something that'll keep her from getting heat stroke. My wife and she are really good friends. Okay. Well, well, I have to do some fixing here. Yeah, I have to do some fixing here. Always have these illusions that I'm finished, that I got everything done. Everything's fine. It's not the way it is. It never seems to be that way. It is. Okay. Okay. Now, hmm. Do. Well, I kind of like that. Is that a shadow color? Yeah. Kind of like that color over there. I'm just gonna take it unadulterated and see what I can get out of it. See what I get over here too. Okay, so I'm not messing that up. Let me see if that works. I don't think it's going to, but hey, give it a chance. Maybe it will. Okay, let me see if it can bring it down over here. And encapsulate that guy's head. Bring that in there. Okay, now what are we going to do with this guy's face? Just in the middle. Just in the middle. Now I'm going to fix his hair. Everything's okay up here. How am I going to do that? Maybe let's see what it looks like if I don't do that. I'm having a problem with that right there. What if I just did that? Ugh. Nobody has noticed. Oh boy. Huh. Dee 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 dee. If I lighten that up, what are you doing in there? Blackguard. Okay, 63. There we. Okay, so let's play around with this Joker's hair, which I decided some time ago was going to be that color. Okay, now we do this in the color area, and we're going to get rid of those highlights as if he had real cream or Vaseline petroleum jelly in his hair. Okay. Dee 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 dee. Do, 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 do. Oh, if I put a, no, I'm not going to do that. Well, I could, but I'm not going to. Huh. Well, let's do something about the damage been done to that dastardly do no gooder. Because he's got to have something going on here. Yep. And yeah, I got things going on here. Okie dokie. Hmm. Okay. Well, let's maybe do a little bit of drawing here. And used yeah, a little bit of this thick watercolor brush. Just lend some weight to a few things. Yeah, let me do that just around a lot of places in this panel, just to give it some oomph. Okay. The same thing in this whole fart's head. I love these watery lines. Woo! Do all types of, they're semi-transparent. So you get a lot of cool effects out of them that are when I first started thinking about how to color this comic, I did toy around the idea of tracing everything onto watercolor paper and then doing the whole thing with watercolor. Wasn't a very good idea because just, hey, you want to get this thing done someday. Would have taken forever to do. And if you screw one up, what do? You mess up a watercolor, you just have to start another watercolor. There's no getting past it, except to do make this thing called uh, paper in a bottle. You can actually brush a new layer of watercolor paper onto a painting and paint over it. But I don't want to do that. Okay, I'm going to mess around with this guy too because that could be a better drawing. Let me see. I probably should have done that. Yeah. Okay, let's play around with this guy so I can make him down here in the bottom. Make the sheriff stand out a little bit more. Okay. I could probably do the same thing over here in line art. I'm not sure I wanted to do that. Okay. Maybe a little bit of things going on here. Save. And then save. Okay. Okay, let's bring this out here. So that we have this and this together. This is 72, 73, so they would be facing each other. That works pretty nice. Okay. Okay. So, do. Where are you? There. Don't do that. Yeah, over here. What? So, page 73. That is, we're halfway point. We're at halfway point in the book. Okay. Where am I? Okay. This is all I'm doing. My wife's making a lot of noise. It's her house, too. She gets to do what she wants to do. Okay, so we're on over here. Let's see if I can. Yeah. So I'm going to end this up with all this racket. And I will see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Short day because I'm teaching real close to noon. So it'll be only like an hour and 20 minutes. But we'll get started with page 74. Hope you enjoyed this. Think seriously about supporting me on Patreon. There's all types of cool stuff that you'll get. All types of stuff. Why does this thing ever? Come on. Yeah, Patreon, David Greg / David Greg Taylor. And or like whatever you're seeing. Like it on YouTube, like it on at my Facebook page, Blue Boy Brown Comics. Show me that you care. Okay, I will see you tomorrow.